do that after games. Unless you want me to. You've got a couple good teams coming up here, theoretically. Start with the first one. Obviously, that's what they do.
Yeah, all we're concerned with is Rhode Island. They got a lot of returning players. I think this is a team that they've been building for 3 years. Interestingly, the way it worked out for them, last year was a little tougher because they lost their leading scorer for the year. It probably helped other guys become better players on their team. So when now they get E.C. Matthews back. Jared Terrell had to score more last year. Son Martin, Jarvis Garrett. So back when E.C. Matthews, a couple of years back, he took a lot of their shots, almost predominantly, or maybe half of their shots. So consequently, now with him getting back in the fold, being the NBA prospect that he is, that he's got more offensive firepower around him. So that being said, I got great respect for their personnel, but Danny's a friend of mine. He's a great coach. They play extremely hard. And they've been able to, I think this year they got more of a bench than they've ever had too. So they're a legitimate team. I think they're picked to win their league, I think.
Second.
Who's been really?
I think second.
I don't know.
Them and Dayton.
Oh, okay. So I mean, they're ranked for a reason. I would assume they have a decent fan base. I don't know how. I've been so worried about my team and get my team better. I've never been to the Mohegan Sun, so I'm not sure how far it is from Rhode Island.
About 45 minutes from their campus.
So it's basically a road game for us. So you good, but the good thing about this stuff is you're going to come. Whatever happens this weekend, you're going to find out the truth about your team a little bit. You're going to maybe find out some things that you thought were true, and then you're going to find out some things that even win, lose, or draw, you're going to know some things about your team, things that you need to improve on.
How do they play? What do they do?
A hard-nosed man-to-man team, extremely hard-nosed basketball. That's just what they're about. Ball pressure, toughness, try to take you out of what you're trying to do offensively.
They struggled last night against Brown, though.
Yeah, I would disagree. I don't think they trailed. They never trailed at any point in the game. When you watch the game, I think Danny knows they played Monday. They played Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, and then he's got a doubleheader this weekend. So when they got up 13 in the first half, he had five backups in the game, trying to space out minutes, knowing that he played us Saturday. And it allowed Brown, who does a good job, who I was impressed with, even though the way we beat Brown, I think the coach does a really good job, and they got some guys that can take care of the ball. And they handled Rhode Island's pressure enough to stay around. But I just think the way Danny coached the game, he was more coaching for Saturday.
I didn't watch the game. I just read about the paper.
Yeah, I mean, the final score, the game was never in doubt. And it's a rivalry game, too.
2-2 games, what have you done well? What do you need to work on in general?
Oh, gosh. I mean, there's not enough time in this for us to talk about. Everybody needs to work on a lot of stuff. For us, defensively, you're still trying. You make a lot of mistakes, but right now you're just trying to erase them with hustle. You got to eliminate those mistakes as the competition gets better. Offensively, we talk about not wasting possessions. We've been a low turnover team, and we need to stay that way. We should be all year. I'd be really disappointed if this team turns the ball over. There's no business for us to turn the ball over because of our offensive style this season. I think at times we can have stood around. When the game started, we've stood around and haven't gone to the offensive glass. So we need to be consistent with our effort to rebound the ball. But our effort's been good. I'd say execution-wise, we got a ways to go. We got to find a way to get Troy Copain more shots. The Quadri Moore can't take more shots than Troy Copain. And that happened in our last game. And that's on me. That's my job.
I wonder if Troy was passing up shots because
It's
he's
on
got
both
only
of them.
score.
Well, I would just say it's on both of them. And it's on the coach. Everything's on the coach at the end of the day, except when you win. But seriously, it's on the coach. So, Quadri's got to shoot when he's open. And Troy's the guy that's got to be aggressive. And guys like Trey Scott, Nasir Brooks, and Quadri Moore, they need to play off of guys and get their opportunities off of Troy Copain and Jacob Evans and playmakers. And we need to free our playmakers. And, role defining is all part of what every team's going through right now. But, yeah, it's a problem, and it's a lot, ultimately it all falls on me to make sure I'm teaching guys what's a good shot, what's not. But we got to do, back to the original, I would say we've got to make sure that we're getting Troy some opportunities because, when the real running starts in a tight game, trust me, the same guys are going to throw him the ball and ask him the same thing. So if he's going to be good enough for that, then he must be good enough that we should be making sure we're getting him more opportunities throughout the game. But it falls on himself too. He's got to look to be aggressive. He's got to look to move without the ball a little bit better because he can't just rely on pick and roll. His teams they're not going to leave him. They're going to double him off the pick and roll.
How important is it for this team to get the type of play you've gotten from Justin Jennifer so far as that extra guy on the perimeter?
Well, what we got to remember, so you lose Farad Cobb, who he made shots for you. And Justin's a better defender. He gives us more speed and quickness. And the thing that Justin does, he is, because of his passing, he makes other people better. And he's a much improved shooter. So I've said he's going to be a really good player, and he's just starting to get there. I think the more quality minutes he gets, the more comfortable he's going to get. But his energy level on defense is a big plus for us because when we go to that first sub in the game, we make offensive plays, but we don't lose anything defensively right now with him, which was last year that would have been the case.
Are you intrigued to see, you said that this would kind of be a road environment. I know it's 45 minutes away, but are you intrigued to see your team in a true road environment?
It's necessary. I mean, it's always tough the first time you go through it, but I think it'll be good for us because we got to go to Iowa State, I think, December 1st. So they say that's the toughest place in the country to play. So I didn't want to have to play Rhode Island for a couple of reasons. We're the road team, and Danny's a good friend of mine. But the way it shook out, we ended up having to play. So it'll be great for us. At the end of the day, it's all good. It's an opportunity to get a great win, but you got to get your team into battles. If I learned anything coaching this team through the Big East years, you got to get your team battle tested before they're ready to win in those type of games. So you got to play those games. So right now, we're spending our time trying to schedule great non-conference games for next year. It's just hard for us to get them.